And thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Annette Montgomery. A flood watch is in place for tomorrow. So let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank with the latest. Rachel.
Yeah, we have rain in the forecast almost every single day this work week, including today. So you're not going to need to water the plants anytime soon. Weather impact alert, though, starts tomorrow afternoon and continues into Wednesday night for the potential for some scattered flooding issues. But we're going to talk more about that in a moment. First, we've got some rain coming down right now in Litchfield County. Warren, Cornwall, Sharon, Kent, Litchfield are all seeing some rain and even a few rumbles of thunder. These are not severe storms, meaning they're not causing wind damage, but they could bring a lot of rain over a short period of time. Pomfret is seeing one of those nearly stationary downpours. You could pick up a quick inch or two over the course of just about an hour or so. The only severe thunderstorm on the map here is here's the Fairfield, New York County border, state border, I should say. So it looks like it's going to stay to the west of us. I think that's the exception rather than the rule for today. And as we continue to see the sun go down, we'll lose our source of instability and we'll see those showers and storms fizzle. So again, they're pretty isolated in nature. Not every town will see one, but I think we're all going to get rain as we head through the day tomorrow, and especially tomorrow night into Wednesday. There is that risk for scattered flash flooding and definitely a risk to outdoor plans. So make sure you have a plan B. Check your sump pump, make sure it's ready to go. And just a reminder not to drive through any water-covered roads. Sometimes the water can be deeper than you think. This alert starts 2 p.m. tomorrow and continues until 8 p.m. on Wednesday. A wet week ahead will get you all set coming up.
Rachel, thank you. Well, shocking statistics released today show 1/3 of homicides in Connecticut stem from domestic violence.
And that report from the Department of Emergency Services comes as a local family prepares to see their daughter's killer sentenced for her 2023 murder. That's after they claim she suffered years of domestic abuse. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules joins us live in Vernon. Alicia, you spoke one-on-one with the victim's mother.
Annette, Anastasia Paul's mother, tells me more about the changes they'd like to see in state domestic violence laws. She says she feels like their family is the one that got a life sentence in this case.
It's not fair because she's buried 6 feet under and will never get that opportunity again.
Janine Lavoie, Anastasia Paul's mother, says although her daughter's killer is being sentenced to 34 years in prison, it still doesn't make up for the loss.
He definitely should have got more than that.
Paul, a pregnant mother, was just 22 years old when police say she was killed at the hands of her child's father, Abdul Mahbub, in 2023. Mahbub admitted to strangling the 22-year-old inside of her Vernon home. He accepted a 34-year sentence for her murder. Lavoie says they were looking forward to facing her daughter's killer in court, but he won't be there in person.
Come to find out, he's gonna be on video.
Lavoie says she was gutted to learn that Mahbub will not be in court in person.
As bad as I did not want to see him, I wanted him to hear us, and he needs to face us. He needs to see us.
Paul's family says Mahbub has a documented history of domestic violence towards her. In the wake of Paul's death, her sister Jelena says they want to see change in Connecticut laws to better protect victims.
That's where it all comes down to prevention and figuring out what we can do to be proactive on situations like this instead of coming up with solutions after the fact.
One of the changes the family wants to see is automatic check-ins with police for high-risk offenders in domestic violence cases. Live in Vernon, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Alicia, thank you. The New London Police Department says it'll hold a press conference tomorrow to highlight 2 officers who saved 2 people from drowning. That rescue happened yesterday just before 1:45 a.m. Police say officers were alerted that 2 people were drowning near the pier and acted quickly to pull a man and a woman out of the water. We're told both are still in the hospital. We'll have a crew there and we'll bring you updates both on air and online.
We'll take a look at this devastating house fire this morning in Danielson that left several people displaced, a firefighter injured, and killed dozens of cats. And according to Eversource, that fire also left the surrounding neighborhood without power. That also includes some neighbors we spoke to this afternoon. Fox 61's Skylar Music shares the details.
We spoke with Hawkins Street neighbors, and 2 of them say they called 911 around 6:30 Monday morning. They can't believe how quickly this house behind me went up in flames. As you can see, crews are already tearing it down. Around 6:45, Atwood Host Fire Company says it went to the house fire. That was on Hawkins Street in Danielson. It became a second alarm fire, and firefighters didn't leave until almost 9 a.m. Bridget Godoni lives right across the street from the house. Her home siding and her car both partially melted. And when we spoke, she still didn't have power. Godoni tells us she was initially scared for herself and her son, but seeing her neighbor's damage, she feels lucky.
I was telling him to pack his bags because I wasn't sure what exactly was going to happen. I have a roof over my head. I just feel for the family that was there. My prayers and thoughts are with them right now. So.
The Danielson Fire Department did confirm to us everyone who lived here got out safely. One of them was hurt and a firefighter was hurt, and they did save one cat, but unfortunately about 30 cats did die in this fire. We'll keep you up to date on the cause of this fire as well. In Danielson, Skylar Music, Fox 61.
Well, police have shared what led to an arrest made earlier this month in a murder investigation in Farmington. Cynthia Martinez was arrested and charged with murder after Derek William Mercado was found dead behind an apartment complex in March. According to the arrest warrant, cell phone tracking showed that Martinez likely took Mercado's phone after his death. Police also say the shell casings and DNA found at the scene originated from Martinez and her firearm.
This afternoon, police are searching for a second person believed to be involved in a deadly shooting in Seattle over the weekend. Police have now said there were at least 3 suspects involved in the shooting at a food festival, and that one of them was among those killed in the violence. A total of 3 people were killed and 4 others were hurt, including a toddler. Right now, 1 person is in custody. Lee Waldman shares more.
Law enforcement rushing to respond to calls of a shooting at a food festival near Seattle's iconic Space Needle Sunday evening.
Suspect may have an automatic weapon. Rapid fire. Rapid fire.
Justin Smith was at the festival. He thought the shots he heard were fireworks until he saw where they were coming from.
I saw another round of fire, and this time I could see flash bangs happening. And when that happened, I knew it wasn't fireworks at that point, and it was gunfire, and I said, run.
A 19-year-old and 44-year-old man were declared dead at the scene. A 56-year-old woman died at the hospital, according to Seattle Fire Chief Harold Scoggins.
Anyone have a small child tourniquet size? No hit tourniquet? For a small child.
A 2-year-old boy was taken to the hospital. He remains in, quote, satisfactory condition, according to hospital staff. Police say 2 people started shooting at each other. A 15-year-old is in custody. The other is still at large.
We will leave no stone unturned to bring all of those who may be involved to justice. There is a second shooter. We're trying to identify who that person is. Our officers need your help.
Investigators say there is no ongoing threat to the community. Seattle's mayor called the shooting a horrific act of violence.
The terror and the trauma of gun violence reaches far beyond those who are struck by the bullets.
Lee Waldman, Fox 61.
Brian Coberger, the man convicted of killing 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022, wants to take back his guilty plea and head to trial. Coberger filed a post-conviction relief form in Idaho courts today. According to comments he made to the New York Times in an interview from prison, he blamed his plea on false promises and wrong information. Coberger was convicted last year after he pled guilty in open court and admitted to the murders. He was sentenced to 4 life sentences without the possibility of parole.
In Massachusetts, today was the start of the murder trial for a mother accused of strangling her 3 young children. Lindsay Clancy is accused of killing them 3 years ago in the town of Duxbury. Her defense has argued she was suffering from extreme postpartum psychosis and other mental illnesses at the time. Today, Clancy's ex-husband took the stand and said she became very depressed and had suicidal thoughts weeks before the children died. He also testified that she shared thoughts of hurting their children.
She told you she was having intrusive thoughts herself of harming the children, correct?
Correct.
And did you ask her how she was going to harm the kids?
I didn't ask it in that way. It was the same thing. I said, do you have a plan, and is it disturbing to you? And she said no, and then she said yes. In
court, prosecutors argued that Clancy had access to adequate care and was not In the throes of psychosis at the time of the killings, Clancy has pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of murder and faces life in prison if convicted.
And Cole Gray, the 16-year-old who pleaded guilty to a 2024 mass shooting at Appalachia High School in Georgia, is set to learn his fate. Gray was back in court for a hearing today that is still happening at this time. He faces 55 charges for the mass shooting that killed 4 people and injured 9 others.
Well, late Republican Senator Lindsey Graham will be honored this week with 2 days of funeral services. Tomorrow, a special ceremony will be held at the U.S. Capitol, and a service will be at the Washington National Cathedral. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are both expected to attend. Graham's remains will then travel to South Carolina for a procession on Wednesday, followed by another funeral and a private burial. Graham died earlier this month at the age of 71. And Senator Mitch McConnell's office has released another image of him and his wife in a hospital and said the 84-year-old is still not medically cleared to return to the Senate. According to the update, McConnell is undergoing physical therapy at a rehab facility after a fall at his home last month. The statement quoted McConnell as saying, "I'm still working hard to get back to my full schedule of work in the Senate and in Kentucky." McConnell added he will not be attending this weekend's Fancy Farm Picnic, a major political gathering in Kentucky.